entendiendo qué tienen que comprar y cómo, y ya me anuncia el equipo de producción que vamos a pasar directamente con alguien que hemos venido esperando, ya yo les voy a explicar por qué, que es el señor Dan Ives, porque Dan es quizás uno de los más importantes manejadores de información, no manejadores de dinero, sino de información tecnológica. Dan, I know you are seeing what we're doing, and we're very happy to have you here. There is a lot of people that are following you from Latin America, from Spain, from the US that are in the market, but there is also a lot of people that they don't know you, and I've been telling you, you are one of the best, if not the best, potentially analyst on technology. I would like you to speak slowly because I have several questions for you, but probably you can tell us how positive and bullish you are with technology these days. Thank you for coming to our program.
Yeah, great to be here. And look, we believe this is the fourth industrial revolution that's happening today. And it's being led by Nvidia and the hyperscalers, names like Palantir and others. And the reason we continue to be so bullish and think tech stocks will have new highs in 2025, it's because of the spending. And I think this tech bull market, we're only in year 3 of an 8 to 10 year build out for tech.
Okay, but let me also ask you something that is interesting and important that we would like to understand. When I spoke with you probably like 3 months ago, obviously you were telling us that as you mentioned it right now, it's a cycle that we're in the third, let's say, inning, or as you mentioned it to me, extremely easy to understand. Let's say you are in a party that finished at 5 a.m., so everybody can understand here in the TV, and you are at 9 p.m., you are just entering into the party. Yes, the party started at 7, but you are at 9 p.m. Question: when Meta, when Microsoft, when all the big guys are investing in all those data centers, and you mentioned there is trillions of dollars going into that. When we were reading, part of those important capex are going into training those artificial intelligence model, and if you can correct me, the 50 to 40% of that bulk of money is going to specifically what Nvidia and the other companies similar to Nvidia are producing. Am I right? Is something like that in the first inning of training for those models?
Yeah, but if you look, I think even when you look at DeepSeek and some of the fears there that people are going to go away from the likes of Nvidia, that was a fairy tale. And there was like that's never going to happen, in our opinion, at least in the next 4 to 5 years. So when you look at training and inference and where everything is, you have $325 billion of capex from big tech this year. That's a $100 billion increase year over year. Just in the first stages of the AI build-out, Nvidia continues to be foundation.
And do you think that, and I was speaking with the audience before you enter into the interview, when you have the Magnificent Seven, Meta just yesterday was negative year to date. But if you see Tesla, yesterday when we saw probably the close of the day before the 17, we were around 44% down year to date. So the logic says you should invest in some sort of Tesla. And another guy that you and I know, Tony, was talking about the credit default swaps, and he was saying there is no movement, there is no risk. So I will definitely invest in technology. So you are an expert in the overall, let's say, a sector. What do you recommend the audience to focus? Not only on Nvidia, but what else and why?
But also, I think, I mean, to that point, when you think about AI revolution, there's the semi plays, Nvidia, Broadcom, others. The software plays, Oracle, Microsoft. I think Alphabet, from some of the parts in terms of Google, continues to be, I think, just massively attractive, as well as names like Amazon. But then you look at the use case names, Palantir, Salesforce.com. And then cybersecurity, right? You know, in terms of names like CrowdStrike, Zscaler, and others. But to me, Mag 7, when I look at Meta, Apple, Tesla, Nvidia, I mean, the stronger are going to get stronger. We're just in the beginning of what's going to be a 10-year build-out.
You're super bullish. I can call you out. You've definitely been right. I know, speaking with you in 23 and 24, nobody was believing that. But now, in front of this turbulence that you're seeing in the market, why don't you tell us a little bit what, if any, are the fear with the tariff, with the problem with the Microsoft between Trump and the other countries, and specifically with China, which is a big part of the component of Taiwan, which you mentioned you've been there from time to time. Why don't you tell us about the geopolitical risk of any derailment, if any, in this revolution of artificial intelligence?
But it's a game of high stakes poker. So in other words, when you think about Trump, I mean, Trump's playing for what does A lead to E or F? In other words, like, where is this all going to end up? So you can't get caught up in some of the sort of poker moves, threats, Canada, Mexico, China. It's about getting people to the table for negotiations. And I think when you look at China in terms of worries about export controls and supply chain, others, look, I'm not saying that you can't have certain issues. Jensen even talked about, like, tariffs are not really massively impacting things. And I think, look, the haters hate. They've hated NASDAQ from 2000 to 20,000, the last decade, right?
Yes.
I mean, so I'm just saying, like, if you get lost in some of these political Fed interest rate, you've missed every transformational tech stock the last 20 years.
Listen then, and I have a couple of questions my team is giving to me. How happy you were with the body language and the statement of the Fed today, potentially saying that they are ready, if needed, to cut rates? How are you seeing the state of the economy when there is people saying, no way, Jose, we're going to stagflation for a while? What do you think about that, which is definitely a sensitive factor in any model when you are buying technology for your portfolio?
The Fed's navigated a soft landing. I mean, look what Powell's done. Soft landing. Think about going back years, a hard landing. This is going to be, how's it played out? It's a soft landing. I'm not saying that there's not certain transitory, you know, as much as you hate that word in terms of inflation, some of the reality is, like, PCE, you're getting down to that 2%. Fed's next move, regardless of when it is, 3 months, it's cuts. Fed's going to be in a cut cycle, and that's bullish risk on assets.
So you are definitely super bullish on buying the dip in March. Do you think, and I know you have access to several models within Wedbush Securities, but you also speak with several clients, big pension plans, hedge funds, different asset managers. Do you think we might see the lows for the months, the bottom? What is your expectation for March and April, which in our models, they are seeing like the most turbulence of the next few days? But what is your perception for that, please?
I just view it as noise relative to longer term. I mean, my view is like, okay, as the market bottom, no one knows, but I think it's oversold in terms of tech. And I think this is not the end of the tech bull market. It's a bumpy period. Trump comes in, headlines every day, but it's not the end of the tech bull market.
Good. And I saw that last week, and I think you were one of the most credible houses speaking about Apple. And you guys went there and recommend Apple, and you were having a great explanation of the why. And I would like you to tell our audience firsthand, and if there is any other thing that you realize within the next few days about specifically Apple, which is a very important part of real estate of all of us that have an iPhone.
The consumer AI revolution is going through Apple. If that's iPhone 16, 17, pick your spot. I mean, the point is, you have 1.5 billion iPhones. 20 to 25% of the world is going to access AI through an Apple device. So it's another example of just, okay, have there been delays on AI? Yeah. Has that been disappointing? Of course. But when you look out, the reason I believe Apple is $4 trillion market cap and higher is that the consumer AI revolution goes through Cupertino, just like enterprise AI revolution goes through Nvidia.
That's good. Listen, we're very happy to have you in our Tribune. It's definitely a great opportunity for us to start feeding the audience, whether they are professional, semi-institutional, or the regular people that want to know about the economy, to have people like you. Super happy. We want to invite you from time to time. Now you know that in Negocios TV, you have another Tribune to tell everything to the people that speak Español. Gracias, thank you, and we'd like to see you again soon. Thank you.
Thanks.